self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another wonderful episode.
I'm back, bitches.
You're back.
I'm back. I had the
Why they
flu.
bitches, though?
I mean, bitch in the friendly term. You know, girl, bitch. Bitch. Let me tell you what happened. Bitch. That's how I mean bitch.
Bitch for men is like nigga for white people.
I mean.
Like, we can't use it like that.
Y'all can't use it?
No.
Oh, yeah. Y'all can't.
We can say it. It's just like the Key and Peele skit. We can say it amongst each other quietly.
Bitch.
The same way white people say, racist white people say nigga. Or even, a lot of kids use nigga today.
Yeah, because black kids, like younger kids, don't get upset about it. They just let their white friends do it. So they don't know that they can't because they're not being told that they can't. So, yeah.
I got some people I need to talk to about that.
Yeah. It's because they have black friends that are like completely fine with it and allow it. And so they think it's all right because they don't have nobody telling them they can't do it. But I am female, so I can say bitch. And say bitch in like a friendly way. So, bitches is in y'all are my friends, not bitches is in y'all ain't shit. There's a subtle difference.
But some of them ain't shit.
Well, in this particular instance, they're shit because I don't know they ain't shit. So,
benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
By default.
Yep.
Y'all are wonderful by default.
Yeah. Until you show us that you're not.
All right. Well, look, the website is gone. Okay. So come find me on Twitter or Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on-point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we're still doing the listen little portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to send, you can send it into our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send it to us in a message there. Or you could tweet it to us if you like. Just remember that, those other options are going to be a lot more public. So, like, if it's some shit you don't want people to know, it might get ugly. We have 2 questions from Mike this week. One of the questions I blame Cole Jackson for. You know how you ask somebody to do you a favor because you sick, you down, you got the flu and shit, you feel horrible. So you ask one of your friends to do you a favor. And they do you the favor, but then talk shit about you while they're doing you the favor. So one of the questions is because of Cole Jackson, but we'll get to that one. The first one, he says, hello again. Sorry to spam so much. I find it difficult to answer a question in 10 words or less. 2 things. I'm aware, though it's been a year since the American 2016 election today. So he sent this on November the 8th. And wonder what your thoughts on how things have gone since episode 55, where you predicted what a Trump or Hillary win would look like. From the UK, we get news on the various fuck-ups of His Orange Highness and the awful, disrespectful things that he and his administration say. I wanted to ask what it has felt like as citizens. Have you seen a societal shift outside of the evening news, and has it been as bad as you initially feared? Yeah, this is kind of what I thought was going to happen, that he was going to be completely incapable of doing the job that he was elected to do.
He's doing it.
No. Is he? Mm-hmm. He's doing it horribly, though. What do you mean? Yeah.
Subjective.
No. Who? Subjective by whose standards? This is not subjective because have you seen his rating, his approval rating among the citizens? It's the lowest. Mm-hmm. And he has historical lows as far as his approval rating is going. So I don't think it's subjective. I think he's doing a shit job. I think most people feel that way. His ratings show that. I think that he is a toddler. And he behaves like a toddler. He gets upset, and instead of throwing stuff and throwing tantrums, he throws his tantrums on Twitter. And he does this on a daily basis. I'm not surprised that we have this whole Russia investigation where all this collusion is being shown to have happened with people in his party or his cabinet. This is exactly what I would say this is what I thought was going to happen. You know, I didn't know specifically what it was going to look like, but I knew it was going to be some fuck shit. And the fact that he says that, you know, he's in the UK and they're looking at all of these fuck ups and they see how horrific it looked. And that is he's not the only person that I've seen from outside of the US that's looking on this situation and being like, shit, this is terrible. Feel sorry for you guys.
What the reason I say subjective is because to his political base and to far right wing conservatives, the cabinet that he has are out to fulfill his agenda. He has the House and the Senate. He has
but even his own
judges that he's voted in.
His party members are even starting to turn on him though and say like fuck up shit about him. Like that's why I say like it's not just the citizens. He has people in his own part. McCain said something just this morning.
McCain always been the road conservative.
Well, but other like what's pissed me off.
Bob Corker.
Yeah.
And Jeff Flake.
Everybody that's stepping down.
Yeah, everybody. Shit. No, not only that, but they're stepping down because they can't win now. And the reason they can't win is because they're up against more conservatives. Like that's what's happening. Like that's what gerrymandering does. You know what gerrymandering is?
Yeah.
It's basically people get to draw their own districts. You can draw your own districts. And the only specification you have is that you have to have a certain number of people in those districts. So if you look at like gerrymandered lines, they would draw out all of these little districts and cut out all the ghettos, cut out all the hoods, and just have the environments that they think will vote for them. But that if you create an entire conservative district, what happens is instead of having a Republican and a Democrat running against one another because it's represented in that whole line, you have a Republican and an extremely conservative Republican
running against
because you've isolated out all of you pretty much knocked out your actual opposition. So you've had to create more opposition. So in order to win, you either have to lie or you have to change your values so deeply to just please the base. And from my perspective, that is the worst thing that has happened since Trump's presidency. Trump, to me, the president has always been a puppet. Don't really make a difference. The Senate and the House and the people who've been there for all them 30 and 40 years, they the ones that's making a lot of decisions. What Trump is doing is he's emboldened a lot of people that have negative ideals and thoughts in our society. But the biggest thing he's done is he's shown Republicans that if you cater to just your base and not your values, then you can win. And that's what's happening in our society. But see, right now, going along with that disapproval rating, the things that they're trying to do are challenging the base. And that's why a lot of these Republicans ain't doing what Trump wants them to do.
Yeah.
Because the base is saying, hey, I'm going to lose health care, or what else didn't happen?
Well,
or Mexico ain't going to pay for this wall like you said. Like, they are looking and saying he ain't really doing what he's saying, but
who the
he
fuck
still have
thought
a very
they
loyal
were gonna
base.
pay for this? Like that just shows me how stupid that you are, that you ever thought that was gonna happen. But I think he's a mouthpiece for here in the States, but abroad he is not. He is instigating shit with Kim. He is who people see on the outside of the U.S. Like he's the one that determines what our perception is on outside of the country. In the country, yes, he's just a mouthpiece. Outside of the country, I feel like he holds a lot more standing with people seeing how things are going here. Because he all over the news with all of this fuck shit he doing. So other countries look at that and see that shit is fucked up here based on him and his tweeting and his saying all of this bullshit when he in Asia or when he is doing all of this traveling and saying this stupid shit when he is among these foreigners.
Well, I don't think that Trump acting how he's acting is going to change how people feel about America. I think people have long held what their opinions about America are. That ain't going to change between President Obama and whoever come next. It's not going to change.
I mean,
now, what he can do is he can
erase
some deals
yeah.
that we've had. He can communicate with rogue leaders and befriend others. Like, there are things he can do that can cause us direct conflict, but these are gonna get resolved as when we get back into another Republican or a Democrat. They gonna erase whatever Trump is doing.
We gotta make it there first.
What you think gonna happen?
North Korea gonna come over and do some fuck shit. That's going to.
We in Alabama.
It don't matter. I mean, I care about the other people. Yeah, we're in Alabama, so we will not be directly impacted, but it'll be the same shit like it was with 9/11. It won't be us, but it'll be the country as a whole. And when shit like that happens, we will get impacted by it. They won't blow up shit here, but look when all them hurricanes happen. How you see what gas prices was during that fucking time? Like, we will be impacted. We won't actually get blown up, but we'll feel something we'll have like the effects of it. So that's my concern, because he's still calling this nigga Rocket Man and shit, like, because he's a child, and Kim is a child. These are two little toddlers fighting in the sandbox who have access to like do some fuck shit. So they're both toddlers. They're both little people they got the Napoleon complex.
I just think it's just gonna be what's going on right now. I don't think it's gonna change. I mean, they fucking flirting. That's all they doing. Like, what does they gonna keep calling each other names. They're gonna keep being disrespectful to each other. What does the other one have to do for a war to happen?
I don't
know. If this is the max that they're willing to do right now.
I don't know. I don't want to fucking find out though. That's the thing.
Well, I don't believe it's gonna happen. You do. So,
I do.
I mean,
at this point, consider, I didn't think that he was going to get elected. I was fearful that he would, but I was really hopeful that he wouldn't. After that shit, after the American people actually elected him in, I don't really have faith that shit's going to go well, because it hadn't gone well since November the 8th of last year. So nothing that he's done so far makes me feel like this is going to get any better. Well, and we still have another, 3 years to get through of him doing this shit. So I'm not optimistic. My optimism went away when he was elected. It really did, because, you're right. His base is still, it don't matter what he do, they still support him regardless. Like, he does have a low approval rating, but it's low, not non-existent, because there are still people who make excuses for the things that he's done. That they're that far in denial that it's the news making him look bad, or it's people not standing by him like they're supposed to that's making him look bad. Like, they don't blame him, which is amazing to me and equally scary. So,
well, he here now.
Yeah,
so I just think that he's just another puppet. He's just more unpredictable than all the other puppets have been in the presidency. No, I think that the president used to be more powerful than he is now. I mean, our country has come to limit the power of the executive branch of government through the judicial branch and through the legislative branch. But at the end of the day, ain't nothing that Trump done to change my life directly. Right now, and this is answering the question. So in my day-to-day life, nothing is different. How I operate. I'm a co-founder of an agency that works with Medicaid, which is state funding. So at any point, any alterations to, state funding for that system could influence my business. But, when I say that he's emboldened a lot of people with some negative ideals about society, he's made it a lot easier for people to say, build that wall. I just saw a YouTube video of a bunch of some teachers who had posted a video of the kids on the Mexican American teachers' room. They built the wall. They printed out paper with bricks on it and boarded up her door with it. And for the black teachers' classroom, they just was putting Trump in there, and they put Obama's picture on there with some stuff wrote on it. It's just overtly showing that somehow people feel like they won. And I think that that's the issue. Like, politics has become so polarized. It's about winning and losing. It's not about representing a bunch of people, because you got all of these Republicans out here who are trying their best to go along with Trump's will, even though they clearly don't agree with it. But is evidently so that they can continue to get reelected in their district. Well, it's a battle with them.
I was gonna say,
it's a battle between getting reelected in their district versus doing stuff that is going to oppose their district and that they don't want and they don't like. And so now you either have to go along with Trump so that Trump don't blackball you, or you got to go home and talk to these constituents who ain't happy with what you are or are not doing. And most of the fighting is coming from the far right wing conservatives to the moderate conservatives to the Tea Partiers to the Freedom Caucus to all of these different groups, and the Republicans just ain't agreeing on what Trump want to do. With the health care, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough changes. And then when you have the tax, it still ain't enough changes, but they're going to probably keep trying to push it through anyway. Mm-hmm. And then they push it to the House, and the House had their own little version of the bit. Like, it's too much, but I'm not in a tax bracket that the tax thing is going to help. You know what the most disrespectful thing in that tax plan is? Teachers have not been getting as much money as they have been to buy supplies for their schools.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if they buy supplies for their kids or anything for the schools, they are no longer tax deductible. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much, it's out your pocket, So this is going to impact education, because if I was a teacher, shit, I'm not paying for nothing now.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, a year down the line, I'm sure to me it looked the same as it did. I mean, we clearly had our negative predispositions about what the presidency would look like, and a lot of that was right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, ain't nothing really changed. I can still go and get Obamacare right now. Active open enrollment is going on.
Yeah.
It is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
It is expensive.
And like, even with our, Mr. Burns looking ass governor not expanding Medicaid, I've had some issues with that here recently with some, because we, where I work, it's a nonprofit, and so we don't have psychiatrists, we don't have those things, and so when I have to send people for that shit, it's very difficult to find them the help that they need, because they don't have access to the services that they need. They have access to me, but I can only do so much, and so when they need a higher level of care, getting them to that higher level of care where they can, I can't tell you how many people like that I've said, go to the emergency room, and I already owe them money. I already owe the hospital money. Like, I don't want to get another bill. And so they're just suffering. And because they don't want to go and have yet another bill added on. And it's just sad.
It's unfortunate where our priorities have gone. And at the end of the day, it's just showing us how many people out here still have those old ways of thinking in America, where brown people are expendable and white people are not.
Yeah. Do you have the article for the BuzzFeed thing pulled up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the second question that Michael had was because of Cole Jackson, because of him co-hosting the show last week. So I blame him for this. Something way lighter to do with butts that I got reminded of when you were talking about Tyrese Gibson's scrotum this week. So I saw this news story on BuzzFeed about how there are men out there who never clean their butts, as they consider it something that a man simply should not do. Baffled, I took to Facebook, and sure enough, men crept out of the woodwork who didn't undertake what I personally consider to be basic hygiene daily requirements. In the spirit of A, butts, and B, Cole Jackson's request to raise subjects Red may be uncomfortable with, what are your views on this bizarre and terrifying phenomenon? Have either of you encountered men like this? And then he attached the BuzzFeed article that he got this from. That's disgusting.
Now, well, to give y'all a gist of how this is, let me read the first complaint that this woman had on BuzzFeed. Okay, so my husband is turning me off. Well, not my husband, clearly. I'm reading this. I'm not married to a man, nor am I in any way attracted to men. I'm straight. So I'll start over with the fact that this is me reading from somebody else's situation. Okay, So my husband is turning me off. We've been married 2 months. What should I do? His feet stink. His shoes smell up the room. Also, he wears white briefs. When I was washing the clothes, the whole seat of his underwear had brown stains in them. It made me sick. Then once when I was riding him, then after we were done and he got up, there was a brown streak where his ass had been on the bed.
It was not.
So I finally got some personal cleansing cloths and put them on top of the toilet. He never touched them. Oh yeah, and one time I went in the restroom and it smelled like whole ass. I kept trying to figure out where the smell was coming from. I saw wet tissue in the trash with brown crumbs all over it. Why the hell didn't he flush that tissue down the toilet? I finally mentioned the personal cleaning cloths. He got pissed and screamed in my face. He told me that a real man doesn't go between his cheeks or spread them open for anything. Men do not spread their cheeks to wipe or clean. Nothing goes between them. What needs to happen here? Suggestions, advice, no bashing.
Divorce needs to happen, ma'am.
Now, subsequently, from this post, a whole bunch of women and men started posting about either why their men ain't washing themselves or why them as men aren't washing themselves.
That is fucking disgusting. Let me tell you something, man, that you may not recognize or realize. When you are a baby and you shit your diaper, I can guarantee you that your mom went and got a baby wipe and wiped between your fucking ass cheeks, nigga. That happens because it needs to happen. Because otherwise it's disgusting. Do you know what shit is comprised of? It is waste from your body. You are letting waste just sit between your ass cheeks because it's manly. That's manly? Is that what masculinity is these days? Shit between your ass cheeks? The fuck out of here. I wish I would have somebody leave a shit stain on my bed. No, absolutely fucking not. That is disgusting. It is ridiculous. You just nasty. You're just nasty.
What if it's on his bed?
I don't give a fuck. If I see shit stains, I'm out. I'm sorry. Nope. Because guess what? If we continue to date and get married, it's going to one day be my fucking bed. It will never be my bed. Nope. The fuck kind of sense does that make? That's disgusting. Let me tell you something. And I have said many times on the show, my ass is off limits. I don't get ass eating. I don't get anal sex. I don't get any of that because I feel like it's an exit only. So I get it. I get protecting your butt cheeks. But there is no reason why the protection of your butt cheeks needs to extend to you, motherfucker. Like, how much do you think it takes for you to wipe your ass? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's just nasty. And to answer his question, no, I have never encountered this, and I hope to God I never do. I don't have the personality to just be like writing in to fucking BuzzFeed or wherever and asking what the fuck I should do. I've already gotten a divorce. Like, it ain't even gonna be no shit where I'm asking people because it's just too gross. It's gross. It's gross. No. Just no. I just, and I already, like, I've never I grew up with 3 brothers, okay? I grew up with 3 boys that went through puberty. I went through puberty. And I could never understand why the fuck their room smelled like ass all the time. Like, because I get it. Your body goes through changes. My room never smelled like that. Like, why? I don't understand why dudes are so fucking gross. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. Lady. What does that mean?
What you mean? What did that mean?
As a human, you should want to wash your fucking ass. Wash your balls. Wash your feet. You should do those things because you're a human.
Well, when you're talking about teenagers, that is a different situation. I mean, when I say you're a lady, what I mean is that over the course of our history, the women who smelt musty... they didn't get courted. Let's just put it more simple. The women who smelled like nothing did. And so the ones that procreated with the men. And the men, because they were the hunter-gatherers, they have always been more musty.
But guess what? Okay. Cavemen who did not have access to soap and shit because it hadn't been invented. Okay. All right. They There is no excuse in 2017 why you should be smelling like ass at any point. When you come home from work, the first thing that you need to do is jump the fuck in the shower and wash your body.
Well, what I'm saying when it comes to teenagers is that males by default are going to have more pungent BO naturally.
Well, wash it though is what I'm saying. My brother's like, their room just smelled horrible, like to the point where you ain't even want to fucking go in there because it's like, nigga, what are y'all in here doing? Like, it's disgusting. What is wrong with y'all? I don't understand. Like, their room.
But what I'm trying to discern is the difference between men that are nasty and the naturally occurring heavier body odors that men will have over women. Put it like this. If I get out of the shower and I don't put on deodorant, I will be mustier than you if you don't put on deodorant in that same circumstance.
Yes.
Just because my BO is going to come out. Now.
Which is why you should put on deodorant.
But that's what I'm saying is when you're talking about young adults, it's a difference. When you're talking about older adults, then you need to be more responsible in that regard.
But what I'm saying is, what I don't understand, nobody ever had to like sit me down. Like, nobody had to be like, you stink, you need to take, like, it naturally, I just wanted to smell nice. And nice did not constitute putting a bunch of perfume on. It just constituted not being musty. My brothers did not have the same. They'll go out and play basketball and come rolling around on the couches and shit, smelling like funk. Why wouldn't you go take a shower?
Well, let's not downplay the context of our society where women are expected to have this certain level of upkeep and men are not.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. At what point in our history are y'all going to realize that you need to have some similar upkeep? I'm not telling you to go get your nails done and get your hair done and get pedicures and shit. Wash your balls. I mean, that's literally all I'm saying is that grown men, teenage boys, wash your balls. Like, it's really that simple. Like, it could take care of so much stuff. If when you go play basketball and you come in home, go get in the shower and wash your balls. It's simple. Ain't nobody telling you to get all cologned up. Ain't nobody telling you to use all of these different lotions to make your skin soft. Wash your balls. That's it. That's all you have to do. I don't understand. It's gross.
You acting like that's like a mass issue with men.
It is with teenage boys across the board. I have parents come in all the time. Have you dated men that have
had questionable hygiene?
No, I ain't finna date no man. No.
You can't find that out day one anyway.
Nobody that I've dated long enough to find that out has had no bad hygiene. I'll say that.
So you don't have a large template of personal experience with that outside of your brothers?
No. But like I said, moms that come in, I get a lot of teenage boys, especially the ones that the parents are trying to get Chin's petition and being made to bring them in. But one of the complaints is the same shit that my brothers did. They're just gross. They just dirty for no reason. Just nasty.
I mean,
and their rooms smell like ass.
A big part of that come from society. That whole boys are easier, girls are not dialogue as it pertains to a lot of people have that.
Yeah, they do.
And then you can, when you ask them why, you can just let boys run wild, and girls, you got like all of that has played into a society in which it's supposed to be okay for men to just run wild, be men, be musty, and just be out here like that.
I'm gonna stay on top of my sons if I ever have any. You wash your ass. Don't think you gonna sit on my fucking couch after you've been out here playing basketball with your little nappy headed friends. If you don't go in there and wash your ass, don't sit on my couch. You're not gonna funk up my couch. Not gonna happen. I have to sit on that couch, and I'm not gonna sit on that couch after you done sat on the couch with your musty balls. Go wash your ass now. Like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not going to be hit with a pungent odor every time I open your fucking room because you got all of this shit in here that you hadn't washed. I don't want to, no funk. We're not doing it. It's disgusting. We're not doing it. It's gross.
But a major context of that article and this whole dialogue is that a lot of men felt like it was very close to making them feel homosexual when they
to wipe your ass. Like, do you ridiculous that is? You like wiping your ass takes like 2.5 seconds. It's a swipe. That's it. Couple of swipes depending on what the fuck you got going on.
You gotta swipe up, then you gotta swipe down, then you gotta get a last minute swipe, and then you gotta push your butthole out just to get a last minute swipe check, and then if that check come out dirty, then you gotta have at least 2 more swipes.
But the other side of that is walking around with shitty drawers on because your drawers at some point rubbed in between your ass crack and now you sitting in shit. How is that better? What the fuck?
We are clearly not talking about the cream of the crop individuals in society right here, okay? We are clearly.
I know society has made it where men are really, I won't say homophobic, but they do not want to be associated with no type of gay shit at all because they are fearful that that's somehow gonna make them seem gay or whatever the fuck. How did this cross over into not wiping your ass? It's a thing of cleaning. It's not about enjoyment. It's not fun to wipe your ass. It's not fun. It's what you do. You wipe your ass. When you take a shower, you clean your ass. That's just what you do. Because it gets dirty. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, I don't understand how that crossed over into it's too close to some gay shit. What? What? How? What are you talking? That's crazy. That don't make any sense. It's gross. That's gross. Anybody that I ever date that is having skid marks in their drawers, it's not gonna work. I can't. It's disgusting. You've basically just been sitting in shit all day. That's what that tells me. From the time that you took that shit that your drawers touched and had these skid marks, your nasty butt has just been sitting in that. It's disgusting. I can't. I'm sorry. No, it's gross. It's ridiculous.
Homophobic is the right word.
But to that extent.
Why not? Like I said, this is a small group of men who are extreme on the homophobia scale to the point that they are not willing to wipe their own tails for the sake of not feeling like they are infringing upon themselves.
Ain't nobody telling you to stay back there for 30 minutes. Just make sure your butt's clean. That's all.
Well, clearly ain't nobody told them anything. Like, the big issue is these enablers. Why would you marry a man that you know had this?
See, that I don't understand.
Why would you, like, why do you have this story to tell?
I don't understand that at all because,
like, was it not like that before you got married and then he let himself go once y'all got married?
I mean, it must have been because she said they only been married for 2 months. At the point that you
should have posted this on the first day then. Like, how long have y'all been together? Like, and how many of these women are still dating these men? Like, what attributes do they have that outweigh the fact that he's stinking out here?
There is none. There is none. None. Because, money, I'm not going to be sniffing you for this. Like, I'm sorry. Penis size. Your penis is probably dirty too. No thanks. No thanks. Your balls dirt. No, I'm good. No thank you. There is no attribute that would compensate for this shit. No. Not that I can think of. I don't give a fuck what you got going on. It's disgusting. No.
Maybe he rich.
That means that you got plenty of money to buy soap and wash your ass, sir.
You're missing the point, man. It ain't about having soap. It's about not wanting to wash his booty.
Well, I'm not. No amount of money can make me lay down with some must-ass nigga. Sorry. No. You need to smell nice. And smell nice, again, don't mean you have to smell like cologne. You just don't need to be musty. Like, it really isn't even like we asking for you to go and have this long, drawn-out showering process. Just don't be musty. Don't be stinky. Like, it's literally, that's all it is. It's so simple. So simple.
It's, and I like for a woman to smell good, but if she were musty, and I knew it was like, cause must is natural still. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
Must is natural. It's not a pleasant.
It's not a
fragrance,
pleasant
but
natural.
it won't bother me as much as if she smelled like ass. Like if she smelled like doo doo, then we got a problem. You know, but must is natural. Like I can accept that. Like
I can't even accept must.
I had in junior high. Wait a minute. Ninth grade. I was in
high school.
Couldn't have been in the ninth grade. It had to be the 10th grade. I took my shower in the morning. I always take my showers in the morning. I don't do night showers. Some people do night showers and morning showers, and I'm like, why? Because
I only do night showers.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would do a night shower and a morning shower. Like, what happened in your dreams?
Some people have night sweat. Some people sweat really bad when they sleep. So
that's, I guess, the only time that makes sense to me. But you know, your levels of cleanliness are up to you.
Yeah.
But I took my shower in the morning. I went to school, and this is one of two instances. The first one, they're different instances, but the first one I didn't put on any deodorant.
Okay.
And I knew that it was coming. Cause you know, like, if you don't put, like, the natural inclination of your armpits is to create, you know, must, whatever it's for. I don't know why it's for that or why that happens, but that's what it's for. You're gonna get musty if you don't put something down there to protect it.
Yes.
And I went through the whole day, and it's a progression. It starts off with you don't smell it. Then, because deodorant is kind of like oily and greasy, it kind of blocks that. So you can feel when deodorant is there, and you feel when it's not there. Mm-hmm. Because you start to feel sweat. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I went to the bathroom to get like paper towels so that when my armpits start sweating, I like dampen my. It's the progression now. Now you don't quite smell it, but you feel it. Then you kind of start smelling it. Now what you don't know is how much of that odor you smell that's you just can smell it versus if other people can smell it. Yeah, at the point that you can smell it, you don't know how far it's really going out. You gotta wait until people say something to know whether they smell you. And I went through the whole day with nobody even saying anything about me being musty. But football practice was after school. And I knew the whole day I was gonna get roasted at football practice. And I did. They were like, at first they were like, somebody smell like they got whoppers under their arms. That's how it started. And then they started their investigation. And it led to me. But you know, it wasn't anything that gave me a nickname that I was going to have forever or ever going to make people think negatively about me. It just wasn't no big deal. It's always somebody musty at football practice or somebody that didn't bring no shirt and had to wear this shirt that was in the bottom of their locker at football practice. So, I mean, that wasn't no big deal. The other time I forgot to put on lotion. We'll tell that story later. But
I know you said you feel like your musty would be worse, but we had an incident at our school with this girl. I don't know what was going on with her. Let me just say that. Because I don't know. I don't know what kind of issues she might have been having. Everywhere that she went into school smelled like fish. It was terrible. And so all day long, people were like talking shit about her. And I felt bad for her because, you know, I don't know exactly what was going on with her. But to me, that's worse than any musty smell. Like, it's really terrible.
Bad vagina?
Yeah.
Smell?
Yeah. It's kind of gross.
I mean, it is. But, I mean, different women have different odors.
Yeah, but it should never be like...
I mean, oh yeah, it definitely shouldn't be that bad. But like, if Lil Wayne and his songs will lead you to believe that it should smell like water, it shouldn't smell like water.
No, everybody has a natural scent.
Everybody have a natural scent. So, yeah. I mean, but if you go in there with smelling like fish, you got a problem.
It was pretty terrible.
Like salmon or tilapia?
Nigga, does it matter?
Yes.
I don't know. Fish.
Salmon is a bolder fish. It has a bolder fragrance than tilapia. It's a mild.
I did not try to place the type of fish. I just knew she stunk, and I tried to stay away from her.
I'm just saying, on a scale of flounder to grouper.
Oh my god.
Grouper is bad. Okay, I just want to let you know. Flounder ain't great. If you're a human. If you're a flounder, it's perfectly fine. But if you're a human, flounder ain't great. But you need to know whether you're dealing with a flounder or a grouper out here.
I don't remember.
Or a snapper.
It was just bad the whole day. From the time she got to school. And it was horrible. And people like, were so mean to her. But it was terrible. Like being in a classroom with her was fucking awful. I think I don't think I think they sent her home. It was bad. Like everybody noticed it. Like I think she eventually got sent home. I don't even think she stayed the full day. It's fucking terrible. Like
you should look her up on Facebook. I bet she a model.
No, I'm friends with her on Facebook, and she's not. She was never. She wasn't attractive either. Oh. So that didn't help.
So she smelled like fish and looked like fish.
Actually, yeah, kind of. Kind of had fish mouth. It was terrible. So yeah, so then that didn't. I feel like if she had been attractive, they might have not. They still would have talked about her, but it wouldn't have been to the extent that it was. She wasn't attractive. She wasn't one of the popular girls, and so they really like went to town on her. It was bad. She never came to school smelling like fish again though. She took care of whatever the fuck was going on. So
Febreze.
What?
Febreze.
Febreze was not a thing at that time.
Well, Febreze ain't number regular air freshener anyway.
Yeah.
They try to make it seem like you sit in a room with fish and they spray Febreze on it that you don't smell the fish no more.
Oh, that's bullshit. No.
Yeah, that ain't true. No, I just don't believe that's true.
I ain't never tried it out, but I just don't believe that no. Before we end, those were the only two letters that we got from Mike. But I also wanted to talk about an instance that happened to me this week as a cautionary tale for anybody that is online dating. So the Spanish and black dude had, I've been in Birmingham since 2014, I think.
Spanish and black.
Yeah. From Spain. So he said.
What's that called?
I don't know.
Spanish and black.
He's just Spanish and black.
He's from Spain, so
yeah.
Somebody black came over there.
I didn't even get that far to ask him. I don't know.
Okay, continue.
So he found me on Plenty of Fish, like shortly after I got in the city, and he said he was a therapist. He was into poetry, which I'm into poetry if y'all didn't know, and all of these things. Like he was polite. He spoke intelligently, it was good. But something about him something was weird. Like I didn't know what it was.
What was it? Let's pinpoint it.
I don't know. Something about, I think maybe his pictures. Just something.
He looked like a creeper.
Yeah. Did I not show him to you? Mm-mm. Something about him just would not let me meet him. Like we would have conversation and we would get to a point where he's like, oh, we should meet. And I would put that shit off. Because just something wasn't right. I don't know. Like, and so this happened a couple of times. Like, he would start asking me about meeting and then I would kind of like curve him, and then some months would go by and then he would find me again and be like, oh, you're still on here, blah blah blah, and then we would get to the point where we were gonna meet again and I'd still be like, And so this happened a couple of times. So this last time, which was last week, he contacted me again. He's like, oh, you're still on here and blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah. And so this time I'm like, you know what, Red, you being ridiculous. Does he look like a creeper?
He looked like somebody who think highly of himself but shouldn't.
That is fucking hilarious.
He don't look like a creeper. His facial expressions are weird though.
So this last week when he was sending me these messages, I was like, Red, you don't have a legitimate reason not to go out with this dude. Like this has been ongoing for like 3 years at this point. Like it's stupid. Like he has not given you any real reason to not go at least meet him, right? So I'm at work and I'm like, having this conversation with myself, and I show one of my coworkers the picture, and she was like, no, I don't get good vibes from him either. And I was like, but what is it? Like none of us could figure out what the fuck it was. So I have his whole name. So I looked him up on Facebook, and we didn't have any friends in common, but one of my coworkers had like 8 friends in common with him. One of them being her hairstylist. And she just happened to be going to get her hair done that day. So when she left work, to go get it done. I was like, well, if you think about it, just ask her, like, just mention him and see what she says. So then that day, about 4 o'clock before I left work, I get a call on my cell phone from my coworker, and she was like, nope, abort mission. She was like, don't do it. And I was like, what? I was like, what did she say? So apparently, this nigga is not a therapist. He's never been to college. He's been in prison for scamming. When she met him, when the hairstylist met him, he was working at one of them little cell phone stores. Mm-hmm. She said he talked real rough to women, like he'll cuss you out. I guess she went out with him, and that's the experience that she had with him. And so I knew none of that. Again, never even talked to him on the phone. I would never even exchange numbers with him because it's something just, I don't know. It just seemed off. So I say all that to say, if you are online dated, get a first and last name. I Google every fucking body. And it's probably because I watched too much ID channel. But in this case, it probably saved me. Either, I don't think he would have killed me, but he might have like stole some shit. I don't know. If you Google is your friend. You can Google search people and find a whole lot of shit. And with him, I don't even know what his real name is, because what he told me his name is Hurt. Hurt, like you hurt your leg. Mm-hmm. That's his name. And that's the name that he gave her. And that's the name that's on his Facebook profile. But when you look it up, you know how like if you look me up, my Facebook and stuff don't pop up because I've been very careful about like attaching stuff to my government name. But it will, those websites that like give you people phone numbers. Yeah. My name appears on there. His name didn't appear on any of those. So I don't think his actual first name is Hurt. I don't. I think his last name might be right, but I don't think that his first name is Hurt. I just don't. And I asked him, I was like, oh, is that short for something? And he was like, nope, it's just Hurt. Said he didn't have any family members. And I was like, so you don't talk to them? Or like, he was like, I just don't have any family. Like, he said he had a 10-year-old son and he has pictures of his son on Facebook. But he said outside of his son, he don't have any living family. Which is possible. I mean, it happens.
This nigga ain't the Punisher.
But
he didn't go to a family reunion and everybody dying. He the only survivor. There
are some people that don't have like
mind
close family.
Punisher coming out in 4 days, so she's gonna be fantastic.
Some people don't have like close living relatives that they associate with. I mean, listen, by this point, I'm already suspicious of him. So for him, I was like, oh, that's bullshit. Like, I didn't believe it. But there are people that happens to where they don't have, if you're an only child and your mom might have been an only child or only had like 1 or 2 siblings, as you get older, you will run out of family. Like, it will happen. I come from like a fairly large family on both sides. So like, I'm not going to probably ever run out of living relatives. But, if my family was set up differently, maybe.
What if you find out that you're the first immortal?
I wouldn't want to be that shit. Why? Everybody gonna die.
Well, you can't help it though. You're here now.
Well, yeah. He ain't immortal. You just saw this nigga. He look. I mean, I don't know what an immortal looks like, but he just looked like a scamming.
No, he definitely not immortal. I'm just saying that's how you would end up with all your family.
There are other ways for you to end up without close family.
Immortal.
Relatives.
The Punisher.
There are regular ways. Like I said, if your mom was the only child and then she had you and you were an only child, you don't got no aunts or uncles on your mom's side. If you didn't know your dad or your dad wasn't involved or you didn't really connect with his family, when your mom dies, you would not have any family that you fuck with.
Would you want to date somebody like that?
Hell no. I didn't believe this nigga from the jump. But like, if I met somebody like that, no, I wouldn't, because I can't. You find out a lot about people from like meeting their family and seeing how they interact with their family. That's an aspect of, for me, that's an aspect of finding out whether or not this is somebody you want to spend time with, because how they treat you in the beginning is of course gonna be good, but like how they treat other people in their life is an indicative of where you might end up at. So I can't see, that's a whole slice of who you are as a person I would never get to see if you didn't have no family. Like, no, I wouldn't want to date nobody like that. But yeah, I just said that to say, make sure that if women, I don't know if y'all have intuition or not. You can, speak to that. But women,
intuition ain't real.
Why did I not go out with this guy?
Because you're logical. You have a degree in human behavior, and there were behaviors that he was portraying that made you weary of what he may have been saying. So at that moment, you started building a case against this man. That's what happens, okay? When you're vigilant at understanding the person's behavior, every single word, every single communication, the time between it takes him to text back, the night when he don't text you back at all, you're building a case against this man. And you ain't had that much in that case, but you had enough to tell your friend, hey, if you go to your stylist tonight, go on ahead and talk to him. That is a series of deductions, logic, and rational thought.
Okay, women, then follow your deductions. If you get a feeling, according to On Point, it's based on some deductions that you've made, whether or not you realize it or not. Listen to that shit. Don't go out. Because listen, I really had got to the point where I was like, this is kind of silly, because I really don't have a reason to not meet him. He hadn't said anything offensive. He ain't sent me no dick pics. He ain't, told me that he was a therapist and then wasn't able to. He was able to hold conversations about like shit. Like, so there was really nothing tangible, I felt, that I could say. Like, normally, like the dude that sent me the dick pic after we went to lunch, I'm not gonna go out with you again. You fucking crazy. Like, no. It was nothing like that. So at this point, I'm like, well, maybe I should just at least meet him. Like, what's it gonna hurt to meet him? But when I involved other people and she knew somebody who knew him, and I was, okay, you don't need to go out with him type shit. So I would just say, you don't know who these people are and treat it as such.
It's harder for men than it is for women. I'm sorry, that's backwards. It's harder for women than it is for men.
I was finna say, what?
Yeah, it's harder.
Yeah.
Because, men, as we're seeing these days, are pulling their dick out in the hotel room and masturbating into a plant. And they want you to watch.
Like, what?
So men are out here on that aggressive, manipulative, lying tip, while women just trying not to be lied to.
Yeah, pretty much. So just be careful. I just wanted to use that as a cautionary tale. Just kind of get to know these people. Like I said, I Google everybody. I get a first and a last name. If I can find you on Facebook, I want to see other pictures of you than what you put on, because you got these catfish motherfuckers out here. So part of it, I want to verify the shit you done told me. If you telling me you this or you that, or you have this type of job, I want to know that shit is true.
Listen, y'all don't undervalue the importance of asking people simple questions to see what kind of response you get, because you can learn a lot about people. Like, ask them what their favorite candy bar is. What is your favorite candy bar? Tell you a lot about a person.
I don't really have.
You stay away from people who say zero, York peppermint patties.
York peppermint patties are good. What do you have against York peppermint patties?
Yo, I don't want my chocolate and my mint together.
But
I either want chocolate or I want my breath to smell good. It's one of the two.
I don't like chocolate. I like York peppermint patties because the mint is overpowering the chocolate to me, so I eat them.
See, you don't even count in this because you don't even like chocolate. You like Three Musketeers, which is weird, and you like York peppermint patties, but I don't care. Zero bars, whatchamacallits, Baby Ruths, York peppermint patties,
what do you have against
Sugar Daddies.
Sugar Daddies are great. It's caramel.
What that supposed to mean?
It's just caramel.
It's caramel on a stick.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful to the stick.
How is
like, just put caramel. If you can't just put the caramel in your mouth, you just a spectacle now.
You could get sugar babies. Those are the ones in the box.
No, those are like caramel jelly beans.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
It's either sugar babies or a sugar daddy on a stick.
No, don't do it. I'm just saying, it tells you something about the people. I ain't telling you what. I don't know. They had a disgruntled childhood if they eat these candy bars. If you ask me,
I don't eat chocolate.
Oh, Boston baked beans, lemon heads.
I eat
all them little
Lemon
25-cent box candies.
But I like
you were
lemon
poor.
heads. I was.
That's what I'm saying. It tells you about something about these people.
I never ate Boston Baby because I didn't know what the fuck they were. I've never eaten them. What are they? Like, I don't even know what they're supposed to taste like. It just seems weird.
It's just like peanuts with sugar on top of them. That's it.
No, I ain't never ate those. But lemon heads, I fuck with lemon heads to this day. You can get one of the dollar boxes now with lemon heads.
I would eat lemon heads all day, every day, if the whole throughout it was the lemon part. Inside is this little stupid white thing that don't taste like nothing but disappointment. The first time I ate a lemon head, I was like, sour all the way through. And I got to this white part. I'm like, what the hell is this? I spit it out to the ground. I said, it's white. It's not yellow anymore. I was disappointed.
I had eaten them my whole life, so I don't think I ever had an expectation that they were going to be. And I crunch them. If you suck it up, you have to crunch them. You have to bite them so that you had a lemon and it's sweet.
If I was homophobic, I'd say I don't suck nothing. But I'm not, so continue.
You have to crunch them because you get the lemon and the sweet together. If you take all the lemon off, you just got a white.
I want a whole lemon.
Sugar.
I want a whole lemon.
I don't even know that there was anything you better get some of that grandma candy.
Well, that's why I don't eat them.
Lemon drops.
Okay, I don't eat them. What's them chicks? They like brown and white. They got stripes on them. Chico sticks or something like that? Oh, no,
Chico sticks are orange. You're thinking of, what are them things called? I eat both of those. They're good.
Well, you don't eat chocolate, okay? Your candy bar options are limited, okay? You got to take what you can get, all right?
Access to, like, tons of non-chocolate candy. So I love Chico sticks. Those are the orange ones. It's orange and coconut. I don't know what the orange is, but they have coconut in it. Then those bars that you're talking about are very it's like peanut butter. Mm-hmm. Those are good. Peanut butter bars, I think is what they're called.
I'm not saying that they're not good, okay? I'm just saying they are not eating them because they wanted to. That like the first time you came across those, it wasn't because you wanted to. It's because you got the horrible Halloween candy and you end up liking it.
My mom eats them, and I got them from her.
Old people also eat black licorice.
Ew.
Which tastes like I imagine that's what the candy that Death eats. Like before he take everybody's soul, he'd be like, "Where's my licorice?" Just eat the licorice and then touch you and you die.
She doesn't eat black licorice.
Dying probably smell like black licorice. Like when you die, I feel like that's what you're gonna smell. Unless you're having a stroke, then you're gonna smell eggs.
You know that there are people that like black licorice. I'm not one of them. I don't eat black licorice.
It tells you something about them. First off, they don't care if their mouth is black and got black bits all in it. So they don't really care about their smile and how people perceive them. Second, it stank. So they don't really care that their breath is going to smell like, hot tires. All right?
Okay, it does not smell like hot tires.
Cold tires then. But it don't smell like shit you to be putting in your mouth.
No, it doesn't. I mean, black licorice and black jelly beans, I don't fuck with them.
So if I meet somebody who eat black licorice, then I already know that they hung out with their great grandparent a lot.
I guess. There are young people that eat black licorice.
Yeah, because they great grandmama used to eat it and they used to spend time with her. And that's all they had. The only semblance of something that was sweet was black licorice.
I have a candy addiction. I eat candy literally every day of my life. I'm not joking. I have candy every day. And as somebody who eats candy every day, I can tell you, if my only option was black licorice, I wouldn't have candy that day. I wouldn't eat that shit. Like, even if it was my only option, I just wouldn't eat it. I have a cookie. Or like, I would have or nothing. I would have nothing, but I wouldn't eat no fucking black licorice. Like, if that's my only option, that ain't no option.
I'm just saying. Simple questions. All I'm saying is don't rule out the simple questions.
Yeah, but pay attention.
Learn something about
pay attention to people's behavior. I did this even before I became a therapist. I've always observed people's behavior and drawn conclusions from that. And probably it's because I've been watching ID channel for the longest. That may have something to do with why I pay attention to shit. Because I feel like you have to when you first meet somebody. You think any of these bitches that you get murdered by these motherfuckers thought when they met that nigga that he was gonna murder them? Usually not. It's a progression. I pay attention in the beginning because I don't want to get to murder bay. I don't want to get there. I don't want to get to the murder. I want to get out before the murder. So pay attention. Just be mindful of the people that you're going out with and the behaviors that they have. And, I don't do that. If I see some strange shit, I'm out. I'm not trying to die. I'm just not. It's not worth it.
You need to take a drug test with you. A little quick dip test. You know, make them do it.
Okay, that might be a little far.
You know.
Would you, if somebody brought a drug test to a first date with you, would you take it?
Hell yeah, I passed that bitch with flying colors.
That's just weird.
I happily take it. I mean, oh, you want to know if I'm taking drugs? Give me that thing.
I would pass it too, but I would be kind of weirded out by the fact that you take drug tests on first date. They're like, who done burned you? See, my idea, then I'm going to who done burned you so bad that now you're like, let me drug test these bitches because I'm not getting another crackhead. I'm not getting another crackhead.
That is an extreme. If I would date somebody for a long period of time and found out she was snorting cocaine,
would you then go on all your next first dates and be like, drug test real quick?
I ask her some questions. I'll try to trick them. I'll be like, been a long time since I had a hit of cocaine. Eye contact. Why do you do drugs? Nah, I'm just playing. You know.
Just pay attention out here. That's all I'm saying.
She be like, I got a bump on me right now. See, you fell for my trap. This date is over. You paying for yourself. Bye.
She ain't gonna have no money. She just got a bump of cocaine. She can spend that money on the coke.
And then she gonna be washing dishes in the back. Which they don't let you do.
No, they don't.
I don't know why that's a thing. They don't let you wash dishes.
Maybe they used to, like old school.
Everybody, if you served at a restaurant, everybody got that joke. I guess I'll be washing dishes in the back. I always be like, sir, you don't want to go into that dish room. I promise you. Washing dishes ain't like washing it at home at a restaurant. First off, you're going to be back there with a dude with a black and mild behind his ear. Number one, rapping the whole time. Who had never cared about no job he done ever had. But this was his opportunity. This is his chance to do good and stay out of jail. That's who you'll be working with. And you don't want to do that.
That's fucking hilarious. Just pay attention out here. That's my public service announcement. If you have a question that you would like for us to discuss, you have a situation you would like for us to weigh in on, whatever it is, send it in to the Conversation Con Artist Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook. Shoot us a message. We'll get back to you. Since we were talking about, I mean, this, I guess it's not really homophobia. So I don't know if you remember Star Jones' husband.
Is Star Jones a woman that was big but then got little?
Yeah. Okay. He's got a big old head now.
She always had a big old head. She just had the body to match.
Yeah, but it looked like way bigger when your body looked like a lollipop.
Exactly.
So Al Reynolds was her husband, and
let me see what he looked like. Al Reynolds. He looked like a gecko.
Oh Jesus. He kind of does. So they broke up, but
he looked like his skin see through.
Oh Jesus. He just yellow. He just real high yellow. Like the highest of yellow.
He looked like Gay Common.
Damn it! Why the fuck did you say that? I'm never gonna be able to unsee that. I hate you. Damn it. He does. Shit. I love Common. Why would you do that?
Well, Common's dating Angela right now, so you can let him go.
No, because they're just dating. They ain't married.
He
done dated a lot of people.
They gonna stay together.
He done dated a lot of folks and it ain't stuck. So Angela might not stick. It ain't over till they get married. I'm
calling it. Go for it.
But so when she married Al, everybody was like, that nigga is gay. And he kept saying he wasn't. So they split in 2008, and he recently sat down with Radar Online and said that he accepts himself as a bisexual man. So he likes men and women. He said, ever since I have been in the public eye, people have been speculating on my sexuality. And speculating is a kind word for how it actually played out. With anger and disdain, people have been calling me out as gay, closeted, a sham, and even nastier, much nastier. He said he grew up in a black church and that it made it even harder for him to come to terms with his sexuality. As a black man, that message and the hate and homophobia will multiply to the ninth degree. I saw no path out that would resolve my personal feelings with my deeply held and ingrained religious beliefs. This internal dissonance was a powerful thing, like a cancer eating at one's soul. This resulted in some tough times, homelessness, unemployment, dependence on drugs and alcohol, public assistance, and at the center of it all, a deep, deep shame. I mean, So here's the thing about Al coming out as bisexual. Bisexuality absolutely exists, but there is a portion of the public that thinks that it's an excuse people use. And so what happens is sometimes some people that are not comfortable coming out as gay will come out as bisexual because it's easier for their families. Because like if you're a mother or a father who your son is coming out and telling you that they like men, the person feels like it'll be easier for you to accept that. Well, I like women too, but I just also like men. And so what you have is sometimes people will use that as a leaping board for coming out. The example I can give of this is I watch a lot of YouTube, and one of the YouTubers that I follow, his name is Trey Melvin. You can look him up on YouTube. Trey Melvin came out as bisexual about a year and a half ago, I think. Made a big old deal about it. Made a whole lot, dramatic ass YouTube video about it, and everybody was congratulating him and all of this shit. Fast forward a year and a half, and now he's come out as gay and said that he didn't originally come out as gay because he felt like he was going to alienate his base too much, and bisexual was a safer way of coming out, which pissed off the bisexuality community because they already get shit about you're not really bisexual, you're gay, you just don't want to say that you're gay. And so people like him who use bisexuality as a springboard for actually coming out eventually hurts bisexuality, because then people point and say, well, look at Trey Melvin. He said he was bisexual too, but now he's saying he's just gay. So, I'm not surprised that Al Reynolds is bisexual at all, because everybody was like, he gay. Like, Star, what you doing? He gay. So, I guess I just wanted to use this as a conversation about bisexuality and like the shit that they get, because there are a lot of people that don't believe it's a thing. They believe either you're straight or you're gay, that you can't actually have feelings for both.
Well, those are people who don't believe that sexuality is a spectrum. Mm-hmm. And I believe that sexuality is a spectrum, and you can be any point on that spectrum. Some people are 100% on the male side of the spectrum. Some are 100% on the female side of the spectrum. But, there is a spectrum nonetheless, in which I believe you can be in the middle.
Well, what I'll say is, if you're going to come out as what you are. Don't try to use springboards, because then you hurt those people. And them bisexual people fucked his mentions up. They was mad as fuck at him for doing this, because he's a fairly larger YouTuber with a large platform. And so you told this large platform that you have that you use bisexuality as a springboard, that you were never truly bisexual, but you felt like people would be more comfortable with that idea than that you're. And here's the thing. After this nigga came, I believe bisexuality is a thing, but when he came out as bisexual, I was like, that nigga is lying. He's gay. The reason being, prior to him coming out as bisexual, he didn't have any kind of feminine characteristics about him. Like, you wouldn't look at him and be like, he kind of suspect. When he came out as bisexual, full-blown flamboyant gay man. Like, it went like a switch. And so, like, when he like turned over that leaf like that, I was like, oh, he gay. Like, he gay. He's not bisexual, because bisexual would have just meant he'd have still been who he was. It wouldn't have completely changed the way that it did. He was like openly talking about relationships with men, openly talking about past relationships with men, hanging out with a whole lot more gay people. Like, he completely changed over. And so I was like, that nigga's not bi. He's just gay and not ready to tell people. And a year and a half later, he finally came out and was like, he's just gay. And, people was like, well, duh, nigga. Like, I'm talking about flamboyant. Like, If you look at his older videos and then the videos after he came out as bisexual, the change is so drastic. Like, he had been putting on this huge act prior to coming out as bisexual. Just be what you are. If you bisexual, okay. If you're gay, fine. Because here's the thing. If you think your family is going to be more accepting of you because you're saying that you like both sexes instead of just saying that you like the same sex, you're wrong. If they have a problem with you, if you're a guy fucking other men, it don't matter if you also like women. Because what happens is you give them the hope that you're going to end up with a woman. Like, yeah, he likes dudes, but we still have a chance for him to have this like regular, and I'm putting up air quotes, regular life. And you just eventually it's gonna still be a problem. Just be what you are. Just be honest with yourself and with other people. And don't be out here fucking shit up for people, bisexual people. They got enough shit as it is with people not believing that it's a thing. And then when you have people that use it to pacify the people in their life instead of just saying, hey, I'm gay, then you just add to the shit that they have to deal with. Just be honest. Be what you are.
And you know, if you're really not interested in women, don't be putting your meat in the women's. Okay? Let's just get that out the way. Like, don't use a knife to open up the can.
Nigga,
okay?
I hate you so much.
It's a can opener for that. All right? Go do what you do. Go do what knives do. All right?
I hate you so much.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I agree because, you know, there's not a lot of things that I would go to prison for. You know, I talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, there are not a lot of things that would get me upset to the point where I might take a human life. Me getting married and having kids, and then this nigga coming and telling me, you know, 2 kids in that he's gay and has been gay, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to, because you used me, and now I gotta deal with this fallout. Our kids gotta deal with this fallout and figure out how the fuck we're gonna go on because you couldn't be honest with yourself. I'm gonna fuck you up. Now, how bad I fuck you up, I don't know. It might be prison time involved.
Depends on if he tells you that he was thinking about Wesley Snipes while y'all was having sex.
Oh, nigga. He will die. I will kill him. Not a lot of things. Most stuff that I get upset about, I'm able to rationalize through. I don't get upset, like, super upset. Like, I might cuss you out, but, like, that's going to be the extent of it. And even that, me cussing you out, it takes... I'm going to get to a certain point before even that happens. Using me as your fucking beard, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to fuck you up because it's not fair to me. You weren't honest with yourself. You weren't honest with me. We built an entire life based around a lie. And now you want to go run off into the sunset with Bob. No, nigga, that's not how this works. You don't get to shatter my life and then go off and live yours. Not how this works. At fucking all. Y'all better be out here being honest with yourselves. Because you run across a bitch like me, I'm going to kill you. You're going to die. I'm sorry. You have to die at this point.
And
it's just what has to happen.
And if you date a dude that got a noodle and, you know, you got to put in a lot of work to get the noodle going, then I don't know. I don't know if you should question either, you know, his sexuality is up to question or his
where
health.
You were going with this noodle shit. I hate you so much. Oh
is something wrong with his sexuality or something wrong with his health? One or the other.
Just pay attention. Like, I don't listen, and you can fight me on this. I don't really care. I don't date over. Like, I know that there are men that grew up around women that have more feminine characteristics about them. And I'm not talking about like cooking. That ain't feminine to me. What I mean, like, you running to go shopping before I get a chance to, or you know, just, I would not date a guy like that. I wouldn't, because for me, it's too many questions there. Because I don't even think that I would want to date a bisexual man. So, like, even if it's, at the end of the day, is that he likes men and women and he's not just gay, it's enough having to compete with these bitches. You know what I mean? To have to compete with bitches and niggas is too much for me personally. That's just my personal thing. I don't want to date a bisexual man. It's too much. It's just too much. It's too much. You got too much to choose from. I don't want to deal with that.
And then you have to peg him.
That's never going to happen. No. Not pegging you. It's fucking weird.
Saying.
I ain't going to do shit because we ain't going to be together. If you need that badly, you need to go get you a real penis.
You already been tricked.
How have I been tricked?
In your scenario, you married and you got kids with him.
Yeah,
You're going to be like, look, you might as well go and put this strap on.
No.
I already bought it for you.
No, you might as well get the fuck out of my house, you and this strap on. Bye. That's cause for divorce for me. Because now I'm looking at you like, what the fuck? At the very least now, I'm going to feel like you bisexual. And I, again, have no desire to be in any form of a relationship with somebody that's bisexual. I don't. That's my preference. I don't have anything against bisexual people. And there are plenty of women that would date a bisexual man. I ain't one of them, though. It's too much competition. I ain't got time for that shit. Gotta compete with bitches. I gotta compete with niggas. It's too much. No thanks.
I got you.
No thanks.
Okay, Alabama, raise up.
No.
Please don't raise up.
Sit
down.
Sit the fuck down. All the stadium of seats.
Roy Moore is an Alabama person. I don't know what the hell his role was.
I don't know.
He was the
part of the legislature. That's
chief judge or something like that. But he's the dude, if you remember, who wouldn't allow same-sex couples to marry, even though, you know, it was granted
Supreme Court
by the
rule.
Supreme Court to be able to do that.
Yes.
And now he's running for a Senate seat. Mm-hmm. Now, what just came out about Judge Roy Moore is that he has an affinity for underage girls.
So you out here denying people who are adults and consenting adults that want to get married. You denying them, but meanwhile you out here fondling 14-year-old girls. This what makes me mad about some conservatives that have this idea about family values. Family values seems to translate to any relationship that's between a man and a woman. Like, you had our governor, Mr. Burns, cheating on his wife, also opposing like gay marriage because, you know, men and men shouldn't get married, women and women shouldn't get married. A man should be able to marry a woman and then have a mistress, though. That's fine. Like, this shit is so annoying to me. Like, you tout old family values and all of this, but you don't stand behind that. You just don't. I mean, again, family values seem to only translate into men and women. That's all. That's all it takes. That's it. Because you can, you know, cheat on your wife or be involved with 14-year-old girls, apparently, and that's fine. But you got an issue with gay marriage because that makes sense. Fuck Roy Moore.
So it turns out that the Washington Post did a huge story in which they had about 30 corroborating participants that were willing to go on record to say that Roy Moore had an inappropriate relationship with this 14-year-old girl. And that 30 people. And not only that, but he was a DA in some county and state, some county back then, that indicated where he was at those times. It indicates that the court case that the girl said she had, they were at the courthouse. That's pretty much the gist of what happened. Now, subsequently, he's had a interview with Sean Hannity in which he did not categorically deny that he had inappropriate relationships with underage girls. He pretty much said, that doesn't sound like my character.
What?
Why wouldn't you say no?
Like, if somebody accuse me of some shit I didn't do, I'm going to be like, I ain't do that shit. I'm not going to be like, that don't sound like me. Like, what?
Well, that's what he did.
Because that leaves open the door. Well, maybe you was having an off day, but you did that shit. Like,
now, what happened after that was Keurig pulled their advertising from Sean Hannity's show.
Oh, yeah.
And a whole bunch of white people.
Stupid. Broke their
destroying their Keurigs.
You the fuck? They got your money already, bitch. What is you talking about? That you bought the Keurig. You're basically destroying your own shit. And now you ain't got no way to get coffee. You just gonna go get your...
Yeah, you're not gonna find anything better than a Keurig out here.
No, it's convenient as fuck. All you do is pop in one of them. I have one because I drink a shit ton of coffee. Y'all are stupid. You're not hurting Keurig by doing that. Dumbasses.
Now, not only that, but an old coworker of his came out and said that it was common knowledge that Roy Moore dated high school teens. Another thing that he said about himself is, I never dated anybody underage without their mother's permission.
What? Oh my God.
I mean, it's legal to have a relationship with a person younger than 18 or 16 if you have the parents' permission to do so.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
Why can your parent give consent for you? What?
Why not? Because they belong to you. You belong to them.
That is, but no, because it's other stuff that they can do to you that people will get involved with, and that get DHR involved, and then get my black ass involved. So you can't just do anything you want to a child because it's yours.
That's not abuse, though.
Isn't it?
No.
How is it not abuse?
If the person who you giving to don't abuse you.
Roy Moore, how old was he at the time?
34.
34 with a 14-year-old. You don't think that there's some damage that can be done there?
Of course. I'm just saying it ain't the kind of damage that DHR coming to your house for.
It should be. That is terrible. That should not be a thing. Parents should not be able to give consent for some 34-year-old man to be fucking around with their 14-year-old. What the fuck?
And it's likely that whatever he was doing all them years ago, he's 70-something, 71 now.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he was doing all them years ago, the laws have to have changed to reflect that being frowned upon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it has. But this goes back to the conversation that we had about Trump, because now the political dilemma is this is a special election.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember why they have this special election. I don't remember why they have the special election, but Donald Trump came down here to support Roy Moore's opposition, because don't nobody like Roy Moore. No. He always breaking the law.
Yep.
Which he broke the law when he told him not to marry gay people in Alabama in the courthouses. You know, he's always breaking the law. So a lot of conservatives have never supported Roy Moore. Here in Alabama, they supported Luther Strange, which it sounds like he is in Dr. Strange's family. But one, Dr. Strange isn't real, and Luther Strange, if he was real, wouldn't be cool enough to be in Dr. Strange's family. No. So he lost, though. Donald Trump came down and supported Luther Strange, and Luther Strange lost to Roy Moore. And the black people in the community, because I was at an event called Brother Let's Talk the night of that
special election,
that general election, and they said yes, Roy Moore won. And the reason they were happy was because they knew that the Democrat would be able to beat Roy Moore. So it's crazy to see how a common enemy can be supported for the good of the people, because all of those people were voting for Roy Moore in the special election, or in the general election, so that when the special election came, they can vote for the Democrat, because they wanted the Republican that they thought the Democrat could win to win, and he did. But what this has shown is that it happens all the time, but we have a society right now where a whole bunch of women are accusing a whole bunch of men of stuff that they did. And I think our society has moved to a point where we're willing to listen. Yeah. And what's happening in the news cycle and amongst politicians is that they're going back to that same old dialogue about, why it took them 40 years to come out, or they could have done this at any point. This is just, a witch hunt trying to, discredit this man.
Points before this history, they would not have been listened to.
But the dilemma for the Republican Party and why they're having this dialogue, and if he's guilty, he should step down. The reason that they're not actively pursuing it is because the margin of the Senate that is needed to be a Democratic Senate is very small. And we are talking about February 2018 to when they're going to revote for these seats, and they are trying to keep as many as possible so that they can keep a Republican Senate. And that's what that Trump polarization has done, to where you're trying to please Trump but please your base. You're trying to make sure you keep as many Republicans as you can, so it's keeping them from calling people on shit that need to be called out, including Roy Moore, including Donald Trump, including all of these people with all these Russian contacts. Like, they are not trying to call this stuff out because they don't want to connect Russia to some of this stuff, even though it's obviously there. They don't want to connect sexualization of young children to Roy Moore because he's a Republican that's looking for that seat. And so Roy Moore is just an old creepy dude who don't need to be on anybody's Senate.
Nope.
I think what they really kind of want to happen is they want Roy Moore to win, and then they'll expel him from the Senate, which they can do. It's a lot of steps to do, but then from their perspective, it won't be a Democrat at that point.
Yeah.
They have to run later, but I don't know. Roy Moore sucks ass. Yes. You can go ahead.
So, Dallas news anchor Demetria Obalor.
I
think that's how you say it. Obalor. Mm. Anyhow, is a gorgeous African-American woman who does, I think she does like the, I want to say she does something with the
does a weather segment.
Yeah, she does a weather segment. So she got some hate from this old hating ass white lady saying that she's not going to watch the news anymore there because, this woman is a size 16 and wears size 6 clothes, and it's disgusting. First of all, when I tell you that this woman is gorgeous and she has the body that a lot of these bitches are out here paying for and injecting Fix-A-Flat in their ass and shit to get, this is the natural version of that. She naturally has a very curvy body. White woman and your white tears. Kick rocks. This woman has done nothing to nobody. Her clothing is not inappropriate. It fits snug, but her body is one of them body types where like she'd have to put a sack on for it, not because she curvy. That's just what happens when you have and I know the white lady that made these comments probably don't know that life because she's probably built like a number 2 pencil. So for in your world, it's probably very easy for you to wear baggy shit. Okay?
She might be built like Jabba the Hutt.
Still, you get a moo-moo or you when you're curvy, trying to find a dress that is not going to accentuate your curves is very difficult because either you're going to have to buy it big enough where it's going to like be too go over your hips, but then it's going to be too big up top, or you buy it to fit up top, but then it's going to be real tight and going to go over your hip. Like that's just the life of being curvy. And for you to say that she looks disgusting, like bitch, please. And so a lot of people came out. The anchor came out and was like, this is how I'm built. I'm not going to let you body shame me and make me feel bad about it. The people that I work for don't have a problem with the way that I dress. Nobody else has said shit about this till this white lady decided to make this post because she ain't shit. And let me find what she said. Because it was so fucking stupid. Here we go. Oh, damn it. Was a video. I need to just find the just mad. Okay. Her name is Jan Shed. I'm sure she took her Facebook down because I know people fucked all her mentions up from this. Has anyone seen Channel 8's new morning traffic reporter? Her name is Demetria Obalor. I don't know how to say her name. And she's a size 16, 18 woman in a size 6 dress, and she looks ridiculous. I understand that when I watch Channel 8, I'm going to get biased reporting and political correctness, but clearly they have taken complete leave of their senses. I'm not going to watch Channel 8 anymore. Bitch, like somebody care. Like, and look, that you can't, when she's on the screen.
I just went down her Instagram.
You can't even see her leg. Like, you see the top of the dress. It's not inappropriate. There's nothing inappropriate about how she's dressed. She just got curves, Jan. You just mad, Jan.
Jan need to watch Triple N, the non-news network, where they cover their whole bodies up.
Like, shut the fuck up. Like, first of all, what makes me mad. White people love to take our characteristics and use them in a way that they see fit, but then act like they're disgusting when they're on us naturally. Angelina Jolie had these lips, and now that's like this thing. All big lips are beautiful. But before y'all had bullshit to say, because we're born with naturally larger lips. Same shit with these asses. All of these people, white women included, are going and getting their asses done. And you mad because we don't have to necessarily do that. Some of us be going ridiculous. You have an ass and then you want to get out here and do some K. Michelle type shit. But that has just been the nature of it. You are envious of us, and your envy turns into this ugly thing where you talking shit about this news anchor who ain't never did shit to nobody. She doing her job and minding her fucking business. And Jan, you should try to do the same thing. Mind your business. Mind your business. Instead of out here attacking people for no fucking reason at all. There is nothing inappropriate about what that lady had on.
Or imagining a reason.
Yeah.
And being frustrated for no reason.
Yep. That's ridiculous.
That lady is what we would call thick.
Yeah.
Thicker than the McDonald's shake when they give you the little straw by accident. You know they got 2 size straws.
Oh, Jesus.
The ones for drinks and the ones for shakes.
She is so pretty. She has a pleasant face. Like, she's just a cute girl. I don't see any problem with this at all. She thick. That's all that is.
I mean, white people in America have a history of just over sexualizing the bodies of brown people, mainly black people. If you're a black man, then you just a sexual beast looking to have sex with women. And if you're a black woman, then, and you got a curvy body, then, it's automatically sexualized in the eyes of white people. It's just always been like that. And I think this is just a representation of that. To look at that woman's curves and automatically equate it to something that's inappropriate, it's just a part of that. Part of that dialogue.
Because ain't shit she gonna be able to do about this. She just got hips. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Again, I'm newly to the hip game because I didn't have any before. But I can tell you that finding clothes, like a dress, again with a dress, if I find a dress that fit up top, it's going to be a little snugger in my hip because you can't, or if I get it to fit the lower half of my body, then it's going to be baggy and look stupid up top. Like it's a difficult thing. And I'm nowhere near as curvy as this lady, so I can just imagine what her struggle is because she's way curvier than I am. So, Jan, shut up. Really, that's all I have to say. Bitch, sit down. I'm sure she's disabled her Facebook because I know people went in on her. That's what we do. And she posted it on Facebook. So, yeah. But Demetria said that she had gotten a lot of love. A lot of people were like, "Shit." Gabrielle Union reposted the story and said something. So there was a lot of celebrities that spoke out against it, and so she received a lot of love. It wasn't, she didn't get everybody saying co-signing Jane bullshit, basically. So fuck Jan. Jan, go jump off a cliff.
Okay. Meek Mill.
Free Meek.
Meek Mills is in jail now.
Yes.
Why is Meek Mills in jail, Mr. On Point? I'm glad you asked. The reason that Meek Mill is in jail because he violated his probation.
Yes.
And there is a lot of dialogue about Meek Mill's sentence. And to the point that they're having a rally for Meek Mills in Philadelphia about his sentence. Yep. So Meek Mill's on probation. On probation, you got to follow all the laws, apparently. Mm-hmm. And then you got to, which is ridiculous, obey the laws. And then, you've got a drug test. You got to have clean tests. Mm-hmm. He basically got 2 to 4 years in jail for popping wheelies in New York on a motorbike, a fight that he got into in an airport, and then failing his drug test.
All things that he could have not done.
And everybody is really adamant about making sure this judge knows that they do not approve of Meek Mill, to the point that they've planned a rally for this man.
Here's the thing.
A lot of celebrities.
Part of it is people are like, well, look up the story on Brock Turner and how they did, he got too much. And we all know that the justice system is not evenly based, and we know that we tend to get a lot harsher sentences. But what y'all are failing to acknowledge is that this is all shit that Meek could have, like, he could have just sat the fuck down. Like this, like popping wheelies in New York, nigga. Still doing drugs where you know that you on probation. Like, these are all things that fighting in the airport. Fighting in the airport in this day and age is tough as they is on the airport shit now. Like, this is all shit that could have been avoided if he just sat the fuck down. Like, y'all are not acknowledging his responsibility in this. It's like they're just being mean to Meek. He violated his probation in 3 different ways. What the fuck?
Well, I'm a bit torn in the situation. I definitely agree with what you're saying, but there is a component to when African American men are put in front of judges to be faced with probation violations. They get more time than their white counterparts. That's
even more of a reason to sit the fuck down. Again, I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying it's what we know. It's the same reason why you try to avoid getting pulled over by the police, because you know the shit probably ain't gonna go the same way as if a white man got pulled over. These are things that have been known. These are things that we have been seeing. So therefore you should be doing what you can to avoid having to even fuck with these people, because you know they're not gonna have your best interests at heart, and you know they're gonna try to make an example out of you. Again, he didn't get caught doing like some shit that could have been avoided, or like trying to help somebody and it got turned into, he was doing stupid shit. Sit down. Like, yes, the justice system has always been biased and it's always been unequal when it comes to us. That's more of a reason for you to just avoid having to fuck with these folks.
I don't know, but that is a reason for there to be a call of arms to bring this in the light. I mean, it's always been there for us, but hasn't been there for other people. And we have an environment where we're progressing. We haven't had an environment that would listen to women, right? Mm-hmm. And now we're having people who are listening to women first and taking action based on that. I don't know if race is exactly that, but the justice system.
I would just like for the thing that we pull forward to be actual. And not to say it ain't a travesty, but do you know how many other like Meek Mill's got 2 to 4 years for violating his probation? Do you know how many niggas is like it? I don't want to rally behind this. Like, I want to rally behind the person that got pulled over and incarcerated for some fuck shit off top anyway.
If we waiting for Nelson Mandela's ass to get locked up, then we gonna be waiting a long time.
It don't have to be Nelson Mandela, but it also don't have to be Meek Mill who actually did violate. So let me ask you this: would it have made a difference if the sentence was lower? If the sentence had been 1 to 2 years? If it had been a different sentence? Or are we saying he shouldn't be punished at all for violating his? What are we saying? What is it that we're asking for? What is it that we're upset about? Are they upset that he got punished at all? Or are they saying that his sentencing was too harsh? So
his sentencing was very harsh.
So if it was 1 to 2 years, would people have been okay with it?
I hope not, because the issue ain't that this happening to Meek Mills. The issue that this is happening to a whole bunch of black men who we don't know their names because it's happening, and we don't know enough to rally behind them about this. I mean, like, that's the issue. I mean, I'm looking at Meek Mills as the catalyst for bringing to light this situation. I can give a damn if Meek Mill get less time, but if this makes some part of our society start looking into how probation violation time works, then we need people to do that. If this makes judges say, well, I need to make sure that I sentence white and black people the same as far as these violations, we need that.
I don't know,
because if it turns out that this judge doesn't, because the judge that gave what's that dude that had he killed those people in that truck, what did they call it that he had, begin with an A? I got too much money disorder.
Oh yeah, affluenza.
The same judge who gave that white boy off when he killed a bunch of people from intoxicating himself sentenced another boy harshly because he got into a street fight. The person fell and hit their head on the sidewalk and died. So it would be important to see what this judge's history of sentencing is on probation violations.
Did that change The guy who got locked up for killing the dude accidentally.
Say what?
Did that help him?
No, they happened before the affluenza. And then the affluenza
No, but
kid.
after affluenza, after people realized the difference did they go and readdress his case?
No.
The guy that okay,
No,
and that was
didn't.
like all I'm saying is Meek Mill's history is not one that's gonna we can rally, they can throw these rallies and all of this shit. It don't have to be Nelson Mandela, but I don't think it's gonna be Meek Mill either. I don't think that he gonna be the catalyst. I just don't. Maybe he will be.
I don't think it's about Meek Mills. It's just about this is the time when people have decided to scream about something, and people got to start looking at that thing that people are screaming about.
But they're gonna make it about Meek Mills. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
They always do that. That's not going to be new.
But I'm just saying that there could be better candidates for this than Meek Mills.
This don't have nothing to do with Meek Mills.
But they're gonna to you, it don't have nothing to do with Meek Mills. For the people that are screaming about Meek Mills, maybe it don't have nothing to do with Meek Mills. But for the dissenters, it's absolutely going to have something to do with Meek Mills. So I don't think we could just say it ain't got nothing to do with him and not acknowledge that the other side is going to make it about him. Because they are.
If Meek Mill spent every bit of this 4 years in jail, even after all of this outcry, you don't think that this judge is going to think twice about when she get ready to sentence somebody else? You don't think other judges in that area are going to think twice about it?
Maybe if it's another celebrity. Because what you said just before this about the fact that it happens to people we don't know their names, it's going to continue to happen to the people that we don't know their name. This is happening because it's Meek Mills, because he's popular. Do I think that she's going to think twice about Joe Blow off the street? No, because she don't have to.
Well, it don't have to be her.
Or anybody else.
No, it can be the district attorneys. It can be the assistant DAs. It can be the lawyers. All it's going to take is some community organizers who say, hey, this is a problem. Why that white man only got 3 months for violating his probation the same way, and this man got 2 years, 2 to 4 years. It's about raising the awareness. It don't have to be at the top end, but at some point in these systems and in these situations, people start taking accountability.
Maybe.
I
think that they would think twice about any high profile cases, but they can continue to do, because you're right, people don't know these other people's names, and people are not making rallies for these no-name people. And so if she or anybody else continues to do this and we don't address those no-name people and we only address it when it is somebody like Meek Mill, what incentive do they have to do better? They don't. All she has to do is not let this happen with another high-profile case, and nobody will think twice about her ever again. It's because it's Meek Mills.
Well, I think once the knowledge is put out there about what probation is supposed to look like,
they know what it's supposed to look like. They just don't care.
I don't even know what it's supposed to look like. I don't even know what the general ruling for probation is. But I tell you, all these people speaking out, the TIs and all these people, they got to know. Because they done been dealing with it.
It's different for them with the notoriety that they have. I just don't think that it's I don't think a jail stay for Meek Mill or for T.I. or for Lil Wayne is going to be the same for you and me if we got locked up. It's not going to be the same. Probation is not going to be treated the same because we don't have the money to fight the system the way that they do. So are they going to be mistreated than another white celebrity? Yes. Are they going to be treated the same way as another black person that's non-celebrity? No, I don't think that they know what it looks like for regular people. I don't, because they're not. They are celebrities. So for them, the justice system is still fucked up, but it's a little less fucked up than it would be for Joe Blow down the street.
But that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people that are going to be representing celebrities. I'm talking about the people who are educated about this because of what's going on with Meek Mills, and they take this to when it's happening to the people who can't afford legal counsel.
It's got to translate to those people, though. It can't just be about Meek Mill. It's going to have to translate down to those folks.
Then what we're going to have to see is what this march is about. If this march is about free Meek Mill, then yeah, that's a problem. If this march is about we need to look at the system and how this system treats black people versus white people, Meek Mill happen to be somebody who's gone through that, then that's different.
Yeah. And
so that's the one I'm talking about. That's the march I'm talking about.
I think that it is going to be a march specific to Meek Mill.
Bro, if all these celebrities come out and just say Meek Mill, Meek Mill, Meek Mill, and I don't give a fuck about none of them no more. I don't even give a fuck who they is. Like I said,
they did the same same thing with Weezy. They didn't march for Weezy, but like everybody that got interviewed at around that time, free Weezy. That's what we do. For whatever reason, you could kill 18 people. Your cousin could go to jail, and y'all, and make shirts and shit.
Yeah,
talking
they
about
cousins.
free Bobo.
They cousins, dude.
It don't matter.
I ain't making no goddamn free Bobo shirt. You kill somebody, your ass need to be locked up. I don't give a damn. I want to protect myself from your ass. I don't care about
I would protect my
you being
cousin.
out.
Look, my cousin could do some fuck shit tomorrow. I ain't wearing no goddamn shirt. You shouldn't have did that shit, nigga. The fuck I look like out here waving flags and shit for you, and you out here murdering people. No.
Well, there is going to be something that happens in our society that makes us listen to the issues with the justice system. This might not be it, but it's going to happen. And
shit,
it
we
needs to
had
happen
a
sooner than
whole
later.
long list of black people getting murdered by the police. And then they still, like, they made them wear the cameras, and then niggas don't have the cameras on when the white lady got killed.
That's a different battle.
How is it different? It's still the justice system, and black people being mistreated.
It's a different
killed.
context to the justice system. It's less accountability for police officers, because for the police officers, that's just a job.
It's less accountability for the judges who hand down these things.
That's an elected position. If somebody else come out and tell the community, hey, the way that they giving out probation violations is ass, we gonna change that, then she gonna have to change her narrative. Police officers just working a job. They don't gotta do shit but go out there and do what they think they supposed to be doing and fuck up at it like they do sometimes. So I mean it's issues all along the spectrum of the justice system. But police and judges is a different situation, in my opinion. They all under the umbrella of fucked up justice system, but they different parts of it.
Tyrese is going to represent himself.
Tyrese IQ is low. I'm not gonna use any negatively connotated words that would be politically incorrect and
He's
offensive.
stupid is what you're saying.
His IQ is not very high.
Well, him and his low IQ are going to represent
missing some
him.
marbles.
He going to represent himself in his child custody case. Well, in the child abuse trial. He has decided he would be the best person to represent himself.
Tyrese is stupid. You know what else he did?
Yeah, look, but
he wore some Chuck Taylors to the court in order to, as a silent protest to all the fathers who had their children taken away from them.
Why are Chucks a silent?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's correlating things like a child.
Well, you know the saying is, any person that represents themselves has a fool for a client and an idiot for a lawyer. You do not have the background or the education to represent yourself in any kind of a trial, Tyrese. I wouldn't represent myself. I would go and get representation because I don't have the background and I don't have the education to represent myself in a trial. And then you're right, he does have a low IQ, so he really don't have the background to represent himself. This is gonna be a shit show. He gonna get up there saying all of this fake deep shit that he be saying in these Twitter videos and shit. And the case, he gonna lose horrifically. Because you don't agree with what your lawyer is telling you. You decide that you just gonna represent yourself. And that's a good idea. It's not. It's never, don't represent yourself. It's never a good idea. It's never a good idea.
This dumb ain't even played a lawyer on TV. He ain't played nothing on TV but a criminal.
He's going to take on the court. And, like, the court is going to be harder on you because you're representing yourself, too. Like, the judge is going to be a lot harder. The other attorney is going to be objecting to most of the shit you're saying because you don't know the rules of court. Because you're not a lawyer. You don't have a background.
She gonna be like, are you sure you want to defend yourself, sir?
Yep. They ask you.
Well, here's your dildo. And she gonna hold up a pack of lube and be like, this is for just, when you're black. You get the dildo and the lube. But we fuck you anyway. But, you're definitely fucking yourself with no lube by doing this.
Yep. It's never a good idea to represent yourself because you do not know. Again, you don't know the rules of court. So like when they're making objections, you're not going to know whether or not it's a valid objection or not. You're not going to be able to make an argument for it. Like you just don't know.
And you're not going to not know that because you don't have the knowledge. You're not going to know that because your IQ is a 69. And you're just not going to understand the words. Too many syllables.
Oh my God. Like, I want to be in the courtroom when he represents himself because I feel like it would just be very amusing to watch because it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a shit show.
What more do you want from me? He's trying to take my baby. Like, that's what he going to do the whole time.
This is gonna be so bad. Like you fire your attorney, or they filed a motion for substitution of representation, is what it's called. But he basically fired his lawyer and has decided to represent himself. And it's probably because his lawyer probably told him, "Hey, you're not helping your case by making these motherfucking videos and shit." Like his lawyer probably got into his ass about how he's been handling this in the public view. And he ain't like that shit.
I don't know. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is that he been telling his lawyer, that's just good discipline I was doing to my child. I mean, ain't you ever put your knee in your kid's back before and hit in the face a couple of times? You know, she gonna be better for this. And a woman, you know you got to put your hands on women every now and then so they respect you. You know, I mean, I don't think nothing I did was wrong. And the lawyer's like, your ass ain't getting your kid back, number one. Okay. Number two, your lady, you shouldn't have did that shit to her. Number three, you need some depression medication.
Yeah.
Because you crazy. And your IQ is 69.
It's going to be, I mean, I already know what the outcome of this is going to be. They're going to probably be granted a restraint. Oh, they already have a restraining order. He ain't going to be able to see his child, period, point blank, end of story. And if his wife got any sense about herself, because she's currently pregnant, get out while you can, ma'am. Run now. Go on, just get out. Just go on, get out now while this going on, while he already got this case pending. Just go on and file your divorce paperwork and get the fuck out so that this ain't you. How old is daughter?
8.
So that this ain't you 8 years from now. Just go on, get out now. Because his wife is pregnant, his new wife. The one he said was a black queen and she's not black. So, yeah.
He also put out a video talking about that he don't have a mental illness and that the depression medication that people told him to get on, that's what was having him act weird.
First of all, depression is a mental illness. And so if you're taking depression medication, you're depressed. That is a mental illness. Secondly, what kind of a reaction is that to a depression medication? Because all the depression medications that I've seen that have side effects, it's usually, you might be lethargic or it might push you, they have a black box warning about it might increase suicidal ideation. So you have to be cautious about that, especially when you first start taking it.
Anal leakage.
Oh, what? There is not. That is not a thing. What depression medication has anal leakage?
I don't know.
Okay.
Some medications have anal
Some of them
leakage
do,
as a
but
side
not
effect.
depression medication. But it ain't nothing like your behavior is going to turn into what he did.
Yeah, no, none of them side effects say
No.
you might go on Instagram and press the record button and say some shit that's gonna make you seem like you got a mental illness.
Yeah.
That ain't in the side effects.
That
list.
is not a Now, if he was taking medication for bipolar disorder, or if he stopped taking medication for bipolar disorder, this might have been him in a manic state. That maybe makes sense. Or if he had borderline personality disorder.
But what he probably got.
Yeah. Depression, though? No, son. Ain't no depression medication made you act like that. That's not, it doesn't even tap into the part of your brain that would create a situation where you act like that. No.
They don't diagnose men with bipolar.
They don't?
Not bipolar, borderline personality disorder.
They don't?
No, it's mostly women.
What the fuck? It's
Yeah,
a lot of
like,
borderline motherfuckers
It
running
is,
around
but
out here.
if you read the research as it pertains to
Borderline,
the
that
diagnosing
is
of borderline,
crazy. But it's because
it's a mass of men explaining off behaviors in women that they don't understand through saying that it's borderline personality.
and borderline
disorder.
personality, people with borderline personality are very emotional, and emotions are tied very closely to women. So a woman that comes in that's emotional, of course, is borderline.
They're also attention seeking.
Yeah.
So when you talk about Tyrese and all this stuff he put up, like that picture he put up when he was in the hospital because he had some damn kidney stones, acting like he was finna die.
Where you feel like you're gonna die. In his defense, they fucking hurt. I thought I was dying, but I did not like.
That ain't what dying feel like.
I don't know what dying feel like. Shit, it don't even feel so.
You should have to ask Mr. Poopy Butthole.
this what dying feels like. They don't feel like what you think they would, because they're like these jagged shards of stone passing through your intestines. It's this horrific, like, sharp shooting pain. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, it's horrific. But
it's like getting stabbed by a knife from the inside.
Yes, this shit it is horrible. But I wasn't taking pictures and most people don't even know at the time that I had those kidney stones. Most people in my life have no idea that even happened, because shit, I was just in pain and I was just like, stop this right now. Whatever you need to do, let's do it, because this shit hurts. Like, and when I got my morphine, I was ready to go home. Me and my brother was talking about that the other day, because he was like, soon as that medicine kicked in, I was trying to pull shit out. I was like, let's go. I'm ready to go. Want to go home. He's very attention seeking. Even that shit he had with The Rock going back and forth, because The Rock is out here getting money. Like, let that man make his movie, Tyrese. Shut the fuck up. Like, he is constantly, all of them fake deep videos that he be making about relationships, like he know what the fuck he talking about. All of that is attention seeking behavior. He probably does have borderline personality disorder, and what that means for his current wife, bitch, run now. All the interactions I've had with people with borderline personality disorder have been unpleasant. They're not pleasant people to interact with. I got a headache even thinking about it. Just run that would be, just go and take your little fetus.
Run, bitch, run for your life, get some help.
Yes. Leave. Just take your fetus and go, ma'am. Take your fetus and go.
That is also a quote from Dave Chappelle. I was not calling anyone a bitch directly.
I don't know why people are so, like, picky about that word. I say bitch at least 10 times a day. I like it. It can be used in so many different ways. Bitch and fuck are by far my two most used curse words. And if anybody tells me that I shouldn't say bitch, you can kick rocks, bitch.
Damn.
I'm gonna say it. I don't give a shit. I guess the last thing I have is just that people out here paying private jets to let them get on there and take pictures. $237. For $237, you can go to a landing strip and get on a private jet and take a picture to put on Instagram, to act like you flying private.
Well, somebody made a business out of poor people's aspirations to be wealthy.
There's no way I would pay $237 just to sit on a plane and take a picture and then get the fuck off. That's crazy. That is insane. For that amount of money, depending on where I'm going, I can get an actual ticket and fly, bitch. What the fuck? Sitting on a private plane? No, that's craziness. People are stupid.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got.
All right.
Anything else on your mind?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.